We have the band Under High Street here today. If you want to introduce yourselves, you can go ahead.
Sure. My name is Evan Flegel. I play drums.
My name is Jonah Simpson. I play guitar.
My name is Dylan Brackus, and I play bass, and we have another guitarist named Bo.
Thank you guys for coming on down here to the studio. Today is a pretty exciting day for Under High Street. Not only are they performing live tonight uptown at Nightmare on High Street, they also released a new single today on all platforms. So please, can you tell us about this new single? What inspired this single?
Well, I can kind of pass that one over to Dylan. He wrote the lyrics for it, and I mean we all came together and wrote our own parts for the music, but the song was kind of his baby and lyrically your inspiration. So
Yeah, I wrote the song kind of based on a lot of things. Sort of started first with like, when like you're listening to a song that is kind of on repeat. So I'm talking about a song that I was listening to on repeat during those first 2 weeks of quarantine. And so I start with like how I was saying I hate when that song plays because every time it comes back, it takes me back to those times and stuff like that. Then it talks about other things like, meaningless hookups that happened in college and just like stuff that comes with that. And just sort of, nostalgia. I would say that's what the song is mainly about.
Okay, so do you think that this will eventually expand into a full album, or what is
That's
your
the
point
goal.
with that?
So, we actually had started writing an EP and recorded it at the end of the last school year in a garage off of Spring Street. Someone lended it to us, and we just took 2 or 3 hours and just laid down some tracks. This was one of the songs off of that, what was supposed to be that EP. And we really just wanted to put this one out first, get something out there as quickly as we could, because we love playing it and we love when people listen to it and enjoy it.
it was the one. I think we recorded 5 songs that day for what was going to be that EP. But when we went back through all of those recordings, that was kind of the one that stuck out to us the most, that we were kind of the most happy with and the most ready to move forward on. But we definitely plan on writing and releasing more very soon.
Yeah, I see. Going back into your band's history, how did your first ever live performance play out, and how does it compare to now?
That's a great question. The first ever live show we ever played was at 1868 back last September, and it was really just an experiment for us at that point because we had never really played formally in front of anybody before, and we kind of had to test the waters for how we would interact with the bar crowd and how we would build our own chemistry. But we had a pretty good turnout for that first show, mainly because we had just told all of our friends about it and they were there for our first set that night. But I remember so well, as soon as the first set was over and we took a break, like 90% of that audience walked out, and then it was just a couple of our friends for the second set. But compared to now, I think the biggest thing I hear is just the way our chemistry has evolved and the way that we listen to each other and the way that we play off of each other and the way that we interact amongst ourselves and with the crowd too. I think that's come a really long way in the last year.
Yeah, well, when we met with you for our article earlier this year, Evan said this: "We have a shared vision of no particular vision." Could you expand more on this? What does this exactly say about the band?
Well, I got to think about that in the context of when I said it, because I'm pretty sure that was back earlier on this year, around February or so. When I said that back then, I think we were much more in a spot of not really knowing where we were going to go as far as our original music and as far as our plans for that. And so at that point, we were kind of still in the early stages of deciding those things and balancing that with our live shows. So I think that's kind of where I was when I was talking about that. Jonah, if you wanted to say anything too.
Yeah, I mean, it's all very interesting. When we started, it was just Evan and I jamming. I had played at a few bars around the Cincinnati area in high school, and I played with a few bands in the Cincinnati area. And so when I heard that Evan was a drummer, we decided to sit down and play some of our favorites. You know, some Zeppelin, some Grateful Dead,
Allman Brothers.
Allman Brothers for sure. And it really just kind of blossomed from there. We would jam at bonfires that our fraternity was having just in the courtyard and having fun. And one of our fraternity brothers was a manager at 68, and so he was able to speak to their owner, and they had us start playing there. And that was, you know, just over a year ago now.
Yeah, I think from that interview previously to now, we're much more on the track of focusing on our original music and really like hammering that out in our time and our rehearsals and everything. So I think that, I mean, that statement, what I said then was much more reflective of kind of us figuring out our goals and our priorities back then. But I think now we've really become much more established in that and want to focus mainly on our original music going forward.
Yeah, the more, I mean, the more you play with each other, the more you become kind of in tune with them, and that's, you know, while you're playing and, you know, outside of that playing, you build kind of a personal chemistry, and you know, that's really helped us kind of evolve our vision and move towards something that we think could I don't know, be something semi-permanent.
So, now what type of band do you necessarily consider yourself, if you have to define it in category?
You know, that part is hard. While we have shared visions of what we want to do with the band, we all draw our influences from different sources. You know, I personally find a lot of inspiration in blues playing, and I know that, you know, some jam band playing for myself, while you know, the other bandmates can speak for themselves, but we all draw our influences from, you know, different genres, and so, you know, it's some sort of fusion for sure.
A fusion of just a fusion of all of our influences is really what I would like to think of it as. I mean, we play blues, we play rock, we play funk, we play alternative stuff, we play a bunch of different things with covers and our own stuff. So I think I would hope that we could categorize ourselves as a band that draws from a variety of different influences and kind of projects all those out in our own way.
But to be more general, just rock.
Yeah, we're rock.
Rock or a lot of other things combined into rock. It's yeah, as we know, you're now consistently performing live at OPUB on Thursday nights. How does it feel when you're up there performing on stage?
Very fun. We love it very much.
OPUB, we played our first show there last November, so we're closing in on a year now of doing our weekly shows there, and it's been really amazing to see that the support that staff and like everybody working there has always shown to us. I know Paul, the general manager, and Brian, who is usually the door guy, they were the first two that reached out to us and the first two that we met with. And from there, our relationship has just grown and grown with every show. And we love working with those guys so much. And they've been nothing but gracious and so supportive of what we're trying to do. And we are very grateful and very appreciative of OPUB.
Yeah, I mean, playing at OPUB, I mean, playing any show is always an exhilarating experience, right? But, you know, as we've played there, you know, more frequently, we've garnered a pretty significant audience that will consistently come out to see us, and it's that community that really keeps us going, and OPUB is really what's fostering that for us right now.
The thing that's the most, I guess, special about it to me is, I mean, not so much like getting a big crowd reaction or getting a lot of people to show up is great, but the fact that we can create a cool event for people, the fact that people can look forward to Thursday nights, people can think, you know, if I got nothing else going for me today, I at least get to go see this band play tonight and get to go have a good time with my friends at OPUB. So being a part of something that can be communal for people and can be a good event that people look forward to every week is huge for me.
And you know, OPUB has been one of, you know, the largest proponents of live music in Oxford for a long time. And I, you know, it's their support of the scene. You know, I'm in my first semester of my fifth year. I graduate in December. But my freshman year, I remember going to house shows and pretty frequently, and seeing some of my friends play them. And I was really intrigued with the scene, and it completely, disappeared when COVID happened. And, that's just an unfortunate, circumstance. But, with OPUB's, dedication to the live music scene, they've really been pushing to bring it back to Oxford.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off of that. We're not gonna take full credit, but since we've sort of had this consistent thing at OPUB, we've seen 2 new bands pop up on the live music scene.
And
So we're just really happy to see that
Yeah.
live music is back.
that's like
Starting to come back.
that's
Why
the
would we
thing
take any credit for that? What are
I'm
you
not
talking
taking
about?
Yeah, no, we don't say
It's
that
all
in
us.
a sense of like, oh,
Yeah.
we're like we started this or whatever.
So it's more of an encouraging thing.
Yeah, I look at it as like oh my God, 2 new bands just popped up. That means we got more people to foster this scene with. We got more
Yes.
people to bounce ideas off of. We got more friends to make more just more things to accomplish.
Yeah. So going more forward into a future direction. I mean, do you see yourself booking any more nights in the near future, or is that not necessarily in the plans?
You mean just booking more shows in general?
Yeah. Well, booking more nights, booking more shows, that type of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We want to play every chance we can get, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, what are each of your favorite songs to play? Whether it's your own original music or whether it's a cover of something else. Like, what is your favorite song to play?
I don't know. I originally said originals. I'll stick with that. Originals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Originals are really cool to do no matter where it is, because it has the added feeling of something you created and something that you brought to life being performed. For me though, it kind of changes from day to day, because we work songs kind of in and out of our set list, and we'll keep things on more regularly than others. But at the end of the day, if you play something over and over and over again, you can get kind of tired of it after a while. So my answer might change. But right now, I always love the songs where we can kind of take things out there a little bit more and jam and improvise, and like that's my favorite type of thing to do with this band or with any band I've ever been with. And we've been doing Shakedown Street by the Grateful Dead as either a closer or close to the end of our shows lately, and that one's just gotten more and more fun to play every time we do it. So my answer will probably change in the next couple of days, but for right now it's that one, because of the collective improv that we get to do.
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorites as well. I think it's hard. You're adding new songs. You're trying to keep the set list new and fresh for people so they don't get bored of it. And every time you do that, you get a new favorite song. For a while, mine was probably Whipping Post. It's still one of my favorites. Shakedown Street is a really great one. We've been any song you're able to improvise and kind of do that in the moment. I don't even know how to describe it. Just that.
Yeah, but like collectively working together with the rest of us.
Yeah. Anytime you get that opportunity and you get to do something kind of special with it, something new, something a little creative, it's fun. And we do our own little thing with Shakedown Street.
Yeah.
So that's been really fun. But I think right now, favorite song, because we just added it in, is the Lemon Song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So for those people out there watching who don't know necessarily who you guys are, what can they expect tonight on Nightmare on High Street when you guys are going to be playing tonight?
Rock, funk, and blues.
No, they can expect absolute pandemonium.
Yes.
And,
All right.
a spiritual, eye-opening, life-changing experience unlike anything they've ever had before. That's what they can expect.
What he said.
So is there any more exciting news that we should know about under High Street? Or?
Stream our single, and if you stream our single and if you really like it, after you do that, you could go buy it, because when you stream it, we get about a 60th of a cent to split between the 4 of us, but when you buy it, we get like a quarter.
But at the same time, if you just like it even a bit, maybe you'd want to buy a T-shirt, maybe you'd want to buy a poster for A Nightmare on High Street tonight. We have both of those available for sale tonight at the show. T-shirts are going to be $25 and posters $10.
Yep, that's right. Or if you don't want to spend any money at all, a really cool thing you could do that actually does support us is send our song to one of your friends. Send it to 2 of your friends. Send it to your family. Just get it out there. Talk about it. I mean, the more like, even just one person, even just one more listen, like regardless of money or anything else, that's another person that we've been able to reach, and that's way cooler to me than whatever we get paid for a stream or anything. But just getting our name out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to make any money streaming. And at the end of the day, we're not going to make any money. That's just the way that the streaming platforms have been set up. But what's important to us is seeing that number go up a little bit, because if that just means you enjoy the song, you enjoy what we've created, and that's something really special that, I don't think a lot of people get to have that experience, and it's nice to have that.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, this is Under High Street. If you want to see more of these guys, you can go up to town here at 9 p.m. Thank you guys so much for coming down here to the studio.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
for having
thank you
us.
so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you for coming down. Always a